What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be reviewing episode 247 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, titled For Kagura. So the episode started off with, the people in the village realizing that their food storage had been destroyed and they had very little food left. So Sarada decided that they're gonna have to start rationing out food, and she basically told each of the shinobi, which Sarada is the captain of everybody now, and they voted her. I mean, basically everybody agreed that she's the captain. So she started giving orders, telling each team what to do. She entrusted Team 5 with searching for food. They were going to be the ones searching for food, and Miski was going to search for the Funato, Fumaushi's unit of the Funato clan. That's what Miski's task was, since he had snakes. And they basically volunteered to do that stuff. But then when Sarada told everybody else to help out, rebuild the village or whatever, and reinforce the village. But when she told them that, they started to kind of argue with her, because Buntan and Kawaki and even Boruto, they wanted to go after the Funato clan and take them out while they still had a chance before they could get away, or they thought that they might try to avoid fighting or whatever. And plus they wanted revenge for Kagura. But Sarada mentioned that Kagura wanted them, she's gonna protect the village for Kagura, pretty much. And that was Kagura's last wish, was for them to protect the village, not to avenge him. Like everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of these characters are talking about how they want to avenge Kagura. But Kagura's last wish wasn't for them to avenge him. It was for them to protect the village. And we know that Kagura, he had great character development before he passed away. And he's obviously not really a vengeful character. I mean, even Hebiichigo tried to kill him and he forgave her. So, yeah, he's not really a vengeful character, but characters still want to avenge him. So then we had a scene where Arami, the leader of the Funato clan, he basically took back control. He took back charge of the Funato clan. And he was criticizing Isuri for, Isuri's mistakes, because Isuri informed him that Tim would die and stuff like that. And the father was basically saying, hey, basically you're the reason why Siren got injured, and you're the reason why Tim would die. And the only reason why I let you, continue to lead the Funato is because I acknowledged he basically acknowledged that he was the one who was responsible for rescuing him. And they also talked about Boruto and stuff. They talked about how, Boruto and Kagura was the ones behind, Siren being taken out. And, Isuri, basically he seemed to, regret the fact that he didn't take out Boruto when he had the chance. Because also Boruto was the one who took out Funato's mobile fortress. I mean, he took out Tenma's mobile fortress. But anyways, after they had that little discussion, Isuri was basically trying to still get his father to. He was trying to negotiate, he was trying to convince his father that he should still be in charge, because it'll be unwise for them to switch leadership now. And the reason why he had the whole ambush planned out is because he acknowledged the enemy's strength. And it seems like he was doubtful that, it seemed like he was kind of doubtful about being able to take out the Hidden Mist village without this plan that he came up with. But Arami basically, after he criticized, Isuri, he basically told him to stay put and that he's going to take control now. So yeah, they are undergoing the Funato clan. He's taking back control of the Funato clan, pretty much. Then we had some scenes of basically people. I'm gonna call them Team Sarada now, since Kagura passed away. But that includes Team 7, Team 5, and Hebiichigo, Buntan, and Kyoho. I'm gonna call them Team Sarada pretty much for the rest of the arc, or mainly because they all agreed that she's the captain now. But yeah, Team Sarada, we had a scene with them eating food and stuff, and they found out that the villagers decided to stop eating in order to let them eat, because if they basically the leader of the village basically said if they go down, then essentially he basically said if they go down, then the village will be defenseless or whatever. But Sarada was like, let the villagers eat. We can manage. We can go without eating, pretty much. And Hebiichigo even gave her food to one of the kids. So that's what happened with that. Then we got a scene where Metal Lee was like, basically, he basically told Hebiichigo that he knew that she was a good person and stuff like that. And then she started talking about her past, how she grew up in a trash, a garbage heap or whatever. And she didn't have, like, she was really poor when she grew up and stuff like that. And, that's kind of what motivated her to help out those kids. She didn't like seeing them, hungry and, or pretty much like she kind of related to him is what it seemed like. And then Metal Lee asked her, why did she become a ninja? And she basically said, because nobody ever praised her in her entire life until she killed somebody. And when she killed somebody, it was a rogue ninja that she killed. And the shinobi who were chasing down that rogue ninja, they basically praised her for killing that rogue ninja. And they said she had the talent for killing people. And since she thought that was her only talent, that's why she became a ninja. And she basically claimed that she thought that was the only thing, that was her only talent. And, she's probably going to continue to do that for the rest of her life. And Metal Lee was like, Metal Lee basically told her that he never met anybody as good at sewing as she was. And so, yeah, he's basically saying that, killing is not her only talent. So that's pretty much what he said about that. And then we had some more scenes of, just some, scenes in the village where we had a scene where, it was some kids who found out about, or they knew about some place where they could get food. And then Dinky and Awabe decided to go with them to go get the food. Originally, Kawaki was going to go, but Awabe suggested that Kawaki stay there because he basically said that Kawaki is a clutch fighter or something like that. And basically, Awabe is he was basically implying that that Kawaki is actually stronger than him and Dinky combined, which is that's very obvious. We already know that Kawaki is stronger than pretty much most of the characters in the Hidden Leaf Village, including Naruto. But yeah, some people still be trying to downplay Kawaki just because he lost the Karma Seal. But no, Kawaki is still one of the strongest characters in the village. But yeah, so Dinky and Awabe decided to go instead of Kawaki. And yeah, they decided to go get the food. And we also had a scene where Boruto and Kawaki was talking about how they're gonna, how they're not gonna let Fumaushi get away with killing Kagura, and how they're gonna make sure he doesn't escape next time they run into him or whatever. And then Dinky and Awabe, they went to get some food. They went to a place outside the village where the kids led them where the food was. But they ended up being attacked and knocked out by a whole bunch of Funato clan soldiers. And then at the end of the episode, Fumaushi got a message from Arami. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Arumi. Yeah, Arumi. Yeah, his name is kind of a little bit hard to pronounce. But Fumaushi got a message from him, and the message basically said that the ambush is basically told him to come back to the Funato clan and basically stop the ambush or whatever. And Fumaushi was like, no. Fumaushi basically ripped it. He basically said that he's not gonna do that, and he's gonna go try to avenge Shira and Steel. So, and that's where the episode ended off. Overall, this episode had a lot of dialogue. It had a nice little flashback, giving us more detail and depth. To add more detail and depth to Hebiichigo, and gave us a nice little flashback about her that further explained her actions and what she's been doing in the series so far. Also, had some. It was a lot of dialogue in this episode. We got to get more information about the Funato clan, or get more scenes with the Funato clan. And also, it was actually stated that it's been pretty obvious that this has been a war so far, but it's pretty cool that this is technically a war arc in Boruto, even though it's not like the Fourth Great Ninja War or anything. But yeah, they're technically having a little mini war arc, and I'm liking the way it's going. Famines and stuff is kind of common you know, especially in war-stricken areas, because stuff like food and stuff ends up getting damaged. Like, for example, in this episode where the fighting from the last episode caused one of the food storage places to be destroyed. So overall, this was a pretty well written episode, and it wasn't necessarily that entertaining, but it was more so a build up episode that did have some good writing. So overall, in terms of story, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. As a setup, it wasn't fantastic or anything, but as a setup episode to set up, future stuff to set up future stuff, it was pretty good because I've already watched the episodes that comes after this. Obviously, I went back and just to review this episode. So I already know that Hebiichigo dies in the next episode. And it was cool to see her backstory and get more detail and depth on Hebiichigo before she dies and stuff like that. Yeah, and overall, everything I talked about, yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little setup episode. It was kind of dragging a little bit. It was kind of somewhat boring. But for the most part, I think it did what it needed to do in terms of story and setting up future events. And added more detail and depth to the characters in the story. So overall, like I said, 10 out of 10 in terms of story. In terms of artwork, 10 out of 10. I didn't notice any problems with the artwork. And in terms of animation, 10 out of 10. I didn't notice any problems with the animation. Overall, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. This was another pretty good episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And share the video all over the internet. And drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode and of my review in the comment section below. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Every promise I've been praying for.